Hey everyone, it's Alvaro Cortez Jr., aka Lance Danger, and it is my birthday eve! Yes, tomorrow is my birthday. I am considering if I should do a birthday stream tomorrow, and if I do, should I do it like at midnight, not too long after I post this video, or if I do it like later at night, well, morning really, or if I just do it like later on during the day. Originally, I was going to watch The Naked Gun tonight after work, but when I got out of work, I got caught in the trap of the movie was either going to start a little too early that I wouldn't be able to even probably buy the ticket to watch it because it was going to be like too close where maybe I would just like by the time I get there all the previews and trailers would have ended, so the ticket probably wouldn't even be available to buy at that point, or it was like a little too late for my taste and your boy is tired. I wasn't going to wait like an hour and a half walking around Times Square or something until the next screening of the movie, so I decided to just go back home, take it easy, rest, relax a bit, and see if I see it tomorrow. Then, that's or Monday. Take advantage of those days off. And I don't know. I was just thinking about sharing like some of my comfort stuff for my birthday. Like, some of you already know because I have posted it on my socials before. But I have a yearly tradition of reading Batman: The Black Mirror on my birthday because it is still my all-time favorite Batman comic, actually. As Luna here is trying to knock the phone out of my hand. Assistant to the editor, Luna. It's a little Luna. It's a little Luna. She's a little camera shy now. That made you go away. Anyway, The Black Mirror, my all-time favorite Batman book, and I know it's probably like you probably wouldn't find it in like the top 10 greatest Batman stories or anything like that, especially since it was kind of like at the tail end of the run of Dick Grayson as Batman, before like he came back after Bruce Wayne died, fighting against Darkseid and whatnot. Interesting story, really. Like, I was still kind of out of comics when that happened. Like, I was mostly reading indie stuff, really, or like the older comic books. But my girlfriend actually had gotten me that trade as a present, and it was like the first new Batman story I had read in years, and it was my introduction to Scott Snyder, who immediately became one of my all-time favorite writers with The Black Mirror, because I thought it was so to me it was so groundbreaking and showing how different Nightwing, Dick Grayson, is as Batman compared to Bruce Wayne Batman, especially after Dick Grayson, like, this was his second run as Batman. The first time was during the Prodigal storyline, after the whole Night and Night Quest stuff, in the 90s. I really enjoyed Dick Grayson as Batman back then as well, because I am a huge fan of Nightwing and the character itself ever since he was Robin. Still I guess he's reverted to being my favorite Robin, because at one point Tim Drake turned into my favorite Robin. But I honestly feel like Tim Drake has been kind of mishandled over the last years. Not even because of the controversy around the changes they made to him over the last years, but it's more like, even before that, I feel like nobody really knows how to write or how to deal with Tim Drake. I feel like after his original run ended and he turned into Red Robin, it's like that's where he hit his ceiling in terms of like storytelling, I believe. People now, writers, in my opinion, And this is like across the board because even Scott Snyder, sadly enough, it feels like they don't quite know how to manage Tim Drake. Sometimes he's the smartest kid in the world. Other times he makes very big mistakes that are unlike him. He'll randomly transform his identity to Drake. Yeah, I remember when they tried to change him to his own character called Drake. I don't want to talk about Drake. Tim Drake as Drake or Drake the rapper. It's best not to talk about them. Anyway, I'm just babbling on about other things. The thing is that the Black Mirror, in a nutshell, is my favorite Batman book of all time. Scott Snyder, one of my favorite Batman writers probably my favorite Batman writer of all time, and one of my favorite writers of all time, right up there with Christopher Priest, the writer that made me want to become a writer. So yeah, that's like my comfort comic to read on my birthday. And Gun Parade March is actually my comfort anime to watch. I know it's a very niche one. It's not a very popular anime, and I can understand why it wasn't hugely popular. But to me, it really resonated to an extent. I'm a sucker for those kind of animes where the characters are kind of flawed to the extent where they're kind of lying to themselves, and how through these feelings that they quite don't understand at first, these characters slowly kind of start to heal from trauma and kind of just start healing together, and by the end that bond becomes so strong despite of the circumstances of things happening around them, losing characters. And it's a mech anime, of course, with aliens, and of course the mechs and even the aliens themselves aren't the best designed things out there, especially in this post-Evangelion world, post-Evangelion Escaflowne world. It's not the flashiest anime, it's not the deepest anime, but it fills my heart with so much joy, especially at the end. And to me, it has one of my most favorite soundtracks of an anime as well. Especially the ending theme of the episodes, I think was really nice, and I liked how that ending animation was very kind of nostalgic and melancholic. And then the final episode, they kind of give it a twist, and aside from the melancholy, it does have a sweet ending. So I'm a sucker for Gun Parade March. What can I say? The manga is very different from the anime, very different, but I still enjoy it as well. For its own reasons. It feels more kind of like a fucked up X-Men, if that makes sense. Even more messed up. If you kind of take the Weapon X project, I made it even more messed up, and with teenagers. That's pretty much the manga of Gun Parade March. Very different from the anime, and both are actually very different from the original PlayStation game. I've seen snippets of it online, and even though the characters are consistently designed throughout all three things, the game actually came out first, and then it was popular in Japan, but it was never released in the US. It got popular enough that it had a 3-volume manga, and that became popular enough to spawn a sequel called Gun Parade Orchestra, and both were popular enough to have animes based loosely on those games and mangas. I've seen Gun Parade Orchestra, and it's weird, man. I don't know how to feel about Gun Parade Orchestra. I liked it. I liked Gun Parade Orchestra, but it doesn't quite hit like Gun Parade March hit with me. But anyway, those are a few of my favorite things. I actually got some medalla light for my birthday. Like, I don't drink alcohol very much, but jump cut, and the video actually cut off just as I was about to finish my thought. As I was saying, I bought medalla light to have a small drink on my birthday, just because it's been one of those years where I've had a lot of growth, but of course sometimes with growth, growing pains come along with it as well. So I thought that, you know, in honor to celebrate another turn around the sun, I would just get a medalla. I haven't drank a medalla light since I actually moved out of Puerto Rico, so it's been over 10 years. So yeah, I'm going to chill with some alcoholic beverages. I don't know if I'll drink it during a birthday stream or if I'll just drink it while I watch Gun Parade March. But one thing is for certain is that I'm gonna have to now be careful of how I dispose of those bottles, lest, even though it is a Puerto Rican beer and Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, thank you very much, and even though I'm a born and bred American, even though I may not look like it, I don't want to dispose of my medalla bottles and then 1 hour later, bang, bang, bang at the door. It's Dean Cain, motherfucker, and he's here to deport me like a Superman. Ooh, God, that sounds like a nightmare I had years ago. On that note, thank you so much for watching these videos. I will catch you all tomorrow, either on a pre-recorded VEDA that I'll record during the day, or a VEDA that'll be a birthday stream. But either way, there's gonna be videos, more videos, hooray! Catch you all later.